Hello, everyone, and welcome to Out Mappedin. I'm your host, Michael. So today, we're going to be going over digital transformation within the indoor space, specifically within malls. And as a guest, I've brought in Ulkar, our VP of Engineering. Ulkar, can you introduce yourself?
Hey, Michael. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me today. So, I'm Ulkar. I lead the engineering solutions team here at Mappedin. And that means that me and my team, we're on the front lines of implementing and delivering the solutions that power the maps for these mall venues.
So you obviously talk to a lot of our clients, and I, probably transparently bring you into a lot of potential client conversations. What is something that you're hearing currently in the space that gets you excited and gets you excited from a product level, a technical level, wayfinding mapping level?
Great question, Michael. Yeah, so when we're talking about our solutions and what we've built for the wayfinding experience, customers are always really happy to engage and love to hear about it. But what I really, really find fascinating to learn more from them is how they want to use analytics and what analytics do they want to see? What questions are they asking? That's what personally really excites me because if we know the right questions that we need answers for, we can either build different metrics that we can get from the UI or different boards and analytics views to help answer these questions.
Absolutely. And I feel like, that's unique, and I do want to dig into that a little bit because, technology, do you have analytics? Yes, and it's usually dropped. But, what we're able to surface within these analytics is something that malls or property owners in general weren't able to have beforehand. Is that correct?
Exactly, yes. So we can tie the analytics right back to the map, and we can provide these wonderful visualizations of their data overlaid onto their space and tie back to geolocation base coordinates. So I think that's a big value add that hasn't been used and surfaced in the past.
I think that's cool. So really what you're saying is the customer journey from home to on-site to end of store can be and is starting to, we're helping to start paint a more clear picture that then these property owners can do things. And I'm willing to bet that kind of dives into the leasing side of things as well.
Exactly. There's so many applications to the data that we can gather from these insights. One really great question is if you could figure out where people are exactly when they're searching for the term coffee.
Oh, that's cool.
That really excites everyone that I've been talking to.
I could absolutely imagine, especially I'm sure when leasing agents potentially go to sell out a space to a coffee vendor, being able to know tangibly where individuals are searching for coffee, they can use that as, potential conversation points throughout their leasing conversations.
Exactly. Or where people are looking for POIs like guest services or help, maybe that's
cool.
where you need to drop a directory.
That's super cool. And then it goes back to the omni-channel experience, which we will be talking through. So I got a question for you. Why does indoor experience matter?
Great question. Yeah, so I think that everyone is accustomed to having maps and experiences right on their phone, but it all stops as soon as you enter the door of an indoor space. So we want to continue what the customers are accustomed to and keep that flow going while they navigate different kinds of indoor spaces, especially with the complexity that comes from multi-building, multi-floor venues. And it's not just the indoors either. We're capturing parking lots and how you navigate in the surrounding areas right outside the indoor venues as well. So while I mentioned the door to the venue, previously, the experience really starts once you enter the property as a whole.
Oh man, I can relate to that. Knowing where to park, knowing what bus terminal to get to the venue, that is my biggest headache. And I feel like, and you've probably seen this as well, properties are getting more complex. They're getting more mixed use, apartments, hotels, malls. They're just getting more complex, which is good. And are you seeing that the things that we're building help to connect the ecosystem? And also, are people able to, adopt these experiences to better guide them?
Yes, just like you said, the mixed use buildings, for example, between retail and office buildings being in the same space, we're actually able to provide a comprehensive experience that covers both use cases in one product, depending on where you are. And then with the directories being so custom, which I know we'll probably touch on in a little bit, you can actually curate the experience based on where your directory is placed, whether that's within the office section of your property or within the mall space section.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like that actually drives, like, yes, from the experience portion, yes, from like the revenue generation, but you start to hit this unique demographic where it's like people that live there, people that are staying in the hotel, people that are shopping, and you're providing this experience for like all the potential visitors as opposed to just focus on the shoppers, which obviously we're focusing on that. But I just want to touch on like, and if you would agree, this is being created in a way that will help anyone and everyone on property.
Exactly, and that's definitely how we're starting the thought process behind what to build in the experience, and then the step after that is, okay, now that we can service any type of visitor to the space, let's figure out what the intent of this person is through maybe curated questions or certain behavior patterns that we're detecting and how they're using the application to better surface very targeted POIs and deals and events that may be most relevant to them. And of course, with the advancements in an AI, this sort of user behavior analysis becomes just more enhanced, better at stats. It's just getting improved.
That's cool. With improvement, I do know you've been very hard at work, you and your team, on the next iteration, the next best Mappedin, specifically on the technical side and how it's upgrading our products for this new look, this new feel, and I'll even argue this new power. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Yes, we're actually revamping the entire product, especially our Mappedin web product from the ground up, rethinking about how different users can navigate multi-building and multi-level spaces and changing the way that we render these visualizations from the ground up, looking at which zoom level should we show what labels, what's more contextually important at the point in space that you are right now. So whether you're outside in the parking lot or on level 1 or in the basement level, what do we want to show you? What is your intent and how to surface that information best to that use case?
That's very cool. I obviously know about it. We'll be showing on this off. So I know this has been your baby. I know you've been hard at work. It might be a difficult question. What's the one thing you're most excited for about this?
Great question. Yeah. So Mappedin Web is getting an entire facelift. So from the homepage to the search experience, directions, step by step, everything is getting revamped, and we're very excited to just continue to deliver great experiences. So if I had to pinpoint it down to one particular thing, I'm super proud of the way that we're going to be enhancing our step-by-step instructions, including landmark turns. And then with that, of course, goes our blue dot feature and just unifying all the different ways that we can get user positioning data, doing signal processing behind the scenes, and presenting to the user one unified blue dot for where we think you are, which is very key.
That's absolutely right. It's all about meeting the customers where they're at and helping.
Exactly. And I know, Michael, you've been helping malls transform their digital strategy over the years. Tell us more about that.
Oh, man. This has been an ever-evolving thing, and it changes each year. The key point, really, that I want to put here is it is ever-evolving, and it's going to be consistently changing from the obvious turbulent nature that we had in COVID, where there was some static places, and it really forced a lot of the malls throughout the world to rethink how they do digital, and more specifically, how their digital transformation touches every aspect of how they do business. And what I would say with that is maps specifically have become very strategic for many of these mall organizations. And I'll start with, there's obviously trends, and we can get into that. The biggest push that I see is experience, omni-channel, and ultimately it really is the customer journey. Like, how are you attracting individuals, potential shoppers who should go to your location while at location, like how do you give them that extra oomph to go to the store they want or even just stay longer within the venue? And then within there, how are you understanding that full journey throughout their shopping, their time shopping there, and then taking actionable insights on that? Like that is what I'm seeing as key. Beforehand, very transparently, it was really just like malls. Directories were nice to have. Mobile was nice to have. I would argue in this day and age, they're becoming a need to have. You need to equip your shoppers with a web-based map, mobile-based map, digital signage or digital directory-based map, all because they serve different purposes, and they're going to help drive your shoppers to dwell longer, make purchases, have a better experience. And I think that's the point I really want to make is shopping has become this experiential push or this experiential reason for people to come. And our products, as you know, I've seen, and I would love to dig into this, are proving this. And within there, one of the biggest push I've seen is the adoption of digital signage, digital directories. Arguably dead during the COVID, people weren't touching anything. Now, what I'm seeing throughout the globe, they are becoming strategic. And from what I can tell and what I hear, we have a software that can help with that.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'd actually love to tie back to exactly what you said. So our premium directories are considering exactly what you covered, right? They are a comprehensive solution, thinking about the entire experience of a shopper at a mall and what they would like to do beyond just the wayfinding. While the wayfinding is a core concept, we're delivering real-time integrations to bring movie show times, transit, weather, and all kinds of integrations straight to the consumer. Mm-hmm. We offer custom branding and layouts, so the directory feels like a natural part of the mall's brand and not just a third-party add-on. We also have advanced search, allowing shoppers to look for specific products, categories, or amenities. And of course, we build in accessibility features and multilingual support to ensure that every visitor has a great experience. And like I mentioned, what really takes it to the next level is the integrations with the third-party data, all within the map interface.
See, that is super interesting. So we are listening, creating, and being in front of all of these best-in-class solutions to provide for our clients, but ultimately, like, it's to the shoppers. It's to you and me going to the malls, looking for back to school, looking for those presents for the sons or daughters, which is exciting, and these are exciting times. One of the things I get asked the most are, what are these best practices? Like, what should someone be looking into on their mapping experiences to get full adoption and really help guide that experience for shoppers?
Yeah, so there are, in my opinion, 4 key pillars to this. First, keeping your maps and directories meticulously up to date. Nothing frustrates the visitor more than incorrect information. Second, use the platform to promote discoverability. Feature the new stores that you have, coming soon stores, highlight special events, and push out the deals to draw the people in. Third, and this is crucial, ensure the experience is accessible for all our visitors. And finally, use the analytics. The data on visitor behavior is a goldmine for understanding traffic flow and optimizing the mall layout to improve the experience and the tenant mix. Now, Michael, I know you've worked with many customers across North America to the Middle East and Asia. Can you share some of your experiences with customers who have just built really great maps?
Absolutely. So I've obviously worked with clients all across the globe, every continent bar Antarctica, of course, trying to find one. And really, there's too many, but I'm going to highlight a lot of the trends. So like we have current deployed clients who are really focused on the integrations within their digital signage and their maps. And what I'm talking about is like live transit times, being able to produce live feeds of cinema or movies, product searches even, to really help guide the shopper to make an informed decision and help them with that experiential piece that I talked through earlier. And even in there, we've got Middle East clients who are really, really driving into the omni-channel, being able to give an experience to anyone depending on their preferred touch point. So whether it be within a mobile application, website, web on mobile, desktop, digital signage, they are driving their experience across all channels to help anyone and everyone in their form of like digital ingestion or ingesting data. And then it even goes all the way to like Asia, where we're seeing a lot of trends within perfecting and really driving the wayfinding piece, but for anyone and everyone. And what I mean by that is really helping equipped, whether it be the accessibility side of things, whether it be, assisting with visual impairment, whether it be, helping through categories. They're making it so clear cut for any potential user, again, across omni-channel or like different channels, to help that experiential side of things, but ultimately giving the best guest experience in their properties. And one last trend I'll notice within what I'm seeing in the EU is loyalty. Loyalty is always interesting because we know there's something there within the mall space, and what people are now starting to understand is people who are loyal to a specific, property or shopping center, they're just likely going to spend more. So how do you reward that behavior? And the conversations I'm having, they're utilizing a map through additional perks to reward this loyalty. And it's not necessarily driving more revenue, which it is, but they're rewarding coming on site through different integrations, through different promotions to help the user enjoy even further their experience. And then that kind of trickles out through the word of mouth. Obviously, I'm seeing all different use cases throughout the world. These are just examples. But what I'm getting at this point is the mall space is evolving, and what I'm finding in conversations throughout the world, people are finding that the map component of it is strategic, and the things on top of said map is probably going to be the most strategic point throughout all of my conversations. Everyone has different KPIs. Every company has different goals and like where they're heading to. We can help, and we want to help. And the benefit of this is we're able to take all this data and then help consult whatever your KPI is, whatever your goals are, and how we can specifically use that map of your property in a scalable way to deliver against your KPIs.
Fantastic. Now, I know you have lots of different projects going on, from new implementations to new opportunities being added and new features being enabled at different centers. What would you say is one thing that teams should keep in mind when looking to upgrade their experience?
Yep. Many different things. I would say there's really a couple of key points. So like number one, I would say is scalability. You really want to focus on what it is, what you're doing is scalable, and the point here I want to make is maintainable. Mm-hmm. I'll say, and this is transparent, hand slap, maybe I shouldn't say it. Anyone can create a really nice map one time. Like, I'll give you the personal context of someone to do it. I can guarantee in a week's time that map is going to be out of date, and you have to spend that money again maintaining the map. And you go through this vicious cycle where that data that you're producing on a map is no longer up to date, so that money is wasted.
Exactly.
So the point I want to make, really, is focus on scalability, focus on maintainability. That's the key point. That's going to drive your experience further. And then as we're talking, and I'd actually want to ask a question, obviously with all these integrations, probably custom, maybe not. How is Mappedin looking at these customizations or these integrations for clients, but also holistically?
Great question. So our approach on keeping things scalable, but also offering third-party integrations has always been to look at the product as a whole and understand how this integration fits within our user experience and delivering that value to the industry that we're building for. And then we work with the customers to understand where their source of the truth is and source of their data, whether that's a third party or somewhere in their network of services, and we pull that data. So that could be for their retail POI information and tenant information. We could pull that from existing systems, or that could be something like movie show times where we pull it from a third party. But no matter the source of the data, we're really trying to deliver that comprehensive user experience with our products and just get the data powered by wherever the data happens to live.
Very nice. Probably saves your hair from catching on fire every once in a while. I will say that is interesting also because, and I could only assume, all of these integrations in a scalable format start to talk to one another on the different formats. So then it goes to that omni-channel side of things, experiential, where all of a sudden this one-time work for a potential like digital signage play goes across all the different touch point potentials, and then throughout that there's the optionality for expanding these integrations to others.
Exactly.
So
right on.
I will say, big topic all throughout tech, AI. How do you see AI fitting into Mappedin, but also specifically these solutions for malls?
Wonderful question. Totally saw that one coming. It's definitely the hot topic of today. So how are we thinking about AI on the solutions? Well, really, AI can, besides optimizing our processes and how we map and maintain these maps on the back end, if we're talking about it purely from a solutions perspective, there's different things we're trying. So there's different mediums of providing solutions and wayfinding instructions to the end user. And we're trying voice bots, AI chat bots, 3D avatars, all kinds of really fascinating, fun projects that are just wonderful to be a part of. And as well, we are thinking about how we personalize the experience based using AI. So we're exploring a ton of different ideas here, and I'm really looking forward to the outlook of the future and be looking forward to sharing what we've been cooking up.
I've seen it, everyone. I know it's cool. I got to keep my lips a little bit tight, but we can have a conversation. I think this is super interesting. It shows the scalability, how we're fitting in AI, how we're expanding upon this. And also within the AI, just one point I want to make as well is like, yes, we are listening to our clients and they have their own thoughts and opinions on AI and how it's going to help. And so we're listening to that. Paired with, we have our own research and development team, brilliant leaders like Ulkar here, using what their knowledge set within the industry knowledge and combining it. And that's the exciting point is like where technology is at right now, it's moving fast and we are in a new era to where we're able to take all of this new technology and really what it is we're combining it into something that can be delivered to malls, but more specifically the shoppers. So like you, me, everyone going to these properties will be able to expand upon that. And that's exciting.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely a very fast-paced, ever-changing landscape right now with AI. And we're thinking about it not only from putting AI into the products to just enhance what we have, but also rethinking about the experience altogether from the ground up with AI-first technology at the forefront. So yeah, definitely a very exciting future and coming soon to a mall near you.
I'm excited. As long as it doesn't take my job, I'm fine. If not, I'll be using it over at the malls. I kid, of course.
Well, it's been a great conversation, Michael. Do you have any final advice for the mall and industry professionals listening in?
Yes, I do. And this might seem counterintuitive, but I want to hear your problems. And specifically, I want to hear what the problems you're facing regionally, specific to a mall, across different, like, it doesn't need to be indoor experience, the wayfinding portion of it. These are problems I've potentially heard, and if not, that's fine. These problems I very likely can help solve. We already probably do. But where I get more excited, and I think Ulkar, you would agree, for problems that we don't necessarily have solved, but know for a fact we can solve them. We just want to hear exactly what it is you guys are facing, like the problems you're facing, and more specifically, like what you're currently doing. I think those are the 2 points. There is something we can do. I know for a fact we can help. I would say Ulkar gets excited about this.
Absolutely.
You're up till 2 a.m. sometimes
I
vibe
am.
coding for me.
I
You know,
am.
thank you. But like those are the reasons why we wake up. We can, and all of our clients I'm sure can attest to this. They had a problem, couldn't be solved. They got on a call with me or Ulkar, and we were able to spin something up and then deliver against exactly exceeding expectations. And it all boils down to what we've talked about, the scalability, the maintainability, flexibility, and like thinking of integrations not as one-offs, but really as this like means from a technology standpoint to scale up. And then as you can tell, Ulkar got very excited, the future. Like that's where we're heading towards.
Yes.
AI.
Yes.
Well, it's been great having you, Ulkar.
My
Probably
pleasure.
see you in the office for lunch.
See you around.
Thanks again, everyone. I hope this was an engaging and exciting topic. We're going to be posting more of these, and more specifically, like the last closing remark I'll add, like we really do want to talk to you and hear out your problems. And I'll be the first to put up my hand and say, candidly, if it's something that we're not a good fit, we don't help solve, that's fine. I will gladly let you know who to speak to. But really, like we're here to solve problems at a technical level, a consulting level, and we want to help. And we want to help make the shopper experience and everything that you guys are trying to accomplish a reality. So thanks again. Until next time.